Buenos a todos. Good morning and welcome, everyone. Welcome to a community dedicated to providing spiritual tools for living a happy and full life. My name is Karina Shearer, and I am the spiritual director and founding minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Puerto Vallarta. If you would like to join us for the live Zoom meeting, please contact me for the link and the password, or check our website, www.cslpv.org, on the weekly talk section. Today is Sunday, February 14, 2026, and I hope everyone enjoyed a wonderful day celebrating love yesterday. And today we are continuing with our monthly topic, Embracing the Edge. The topic for today is The Edge of the Known. The suggested book for reading this month is The Inward Journey by Howard Thurman. So at this time, I would like to once again truly welcome everyone, including those that are new to our teaching and to our center here in Vallarta, whether you are on the live Zoom call or watching the replay at a later time. We honor all faith traditions, so whatever path you are on, know it is the right one for you. We teach a philosophy called the science of mind. It's a teaching based on new thought and ancient wisdom, where we offer spiritual tools and principles to promote personal growth. And we honor diversity in all aspects so that we can see and appreciate the great oneness that already exists everywhere and within everyone. When Dr. Ernest Holmes founded this teaching in the 1920s, he had studied both Eastern and Western spiritual texts in order to create the science of mind, which focuses on the use of the individual mind and the thoughts as well. So when asked to provide a concise definition of the science of mind teaching, he had replied that it is a correlation of laws of science, opinions of philosophy, and revelations of religion applied to human needs and aspirations. So each week, we offer service with an inspirational message. We offer the Zoom meeting at 10 a.m. and also meet in person Sundays at noon. We have found a new location that we have been in since November, and the updates are on our website for that location. And after service, whether you are with us on the Zoom or in person, please join us afterward for some great conversation with like-minded people. And now let's review our purpose, vision, and mission statements. We have a grand purpose here each week, and that is to awaken and celebrate diversity and to love and serve our community. We do this by means of our vision, creating the life you desire. And this is supported by our mission to provide spiritual tools for personal growth and transformation. And more on all of these can be found on their own page on our website. So please feel free to check that out for more information. And now, as we have been continuing reading from the Creative Thought magazine, today I will be reading from February 15th, 2014. As you know, spiritual mind treatment is always done in the first person. So I invite you to gently close your eyes and take these words as your own, if you so choose. God is all there is, creative power, omniscient energy, infinite wisdom, divine love operating through divine law. I am God's beloved and personalized expression. I co-create my life with divine love. As I recognize my oneness with divine love, I turn within and listen to the guidance of my God self. It is from this connection that I choose wisely the greater good I desire to experience in all areas of my life. I name and claim that I am healthy in my body, mind, and emotions. I am the embodiment of pure love, attracting loving and supportive companions. I'm receiving my divine inheritance in the form of increased money. I am expressing my God-given talents and skills successfully. I gratefully accept the law responds to my claims right here and now. I give myself permission to eliminate all negative beliefs, self-doubt, and fear because I believe that perfect love casts out all fear from my consciousness. Free, I remind myself that I am stepping forward joyously and celebrating my spectacular life as God's partner. With this awakening, I lovingly share my light of truth with others, and we are all blessed. In complete faith and gratitude, I release my word to the law. It returns as a demonstration of greater good, for divine love gives through this law. And so it is. And that was originally submitted by licensed practitioner Lynette Tucker from New York, New York. And so let's start off with this quote from The Science of Mind. There is no place we must go for the silence. There is no particular posture we must assume. There is no formula we must repeat. We enter this inner tabernacle by whatever route we may. So, what lies beyond that familiar? This week, we will explore the shared unconscious, the stories, beliefs, and truths that live beneath our awareness, and lean into that sacred unknown that calls us into collective healing. In The Inward Journey, Howard Thurman wrote, "We do not know each other yet. We have not dared to be silent together. What a priceless possession is the gift of speech. To be able to make sounds convey specific meanings and deliberate notions, to be able to put at the disposal of another the feelings that nestle within the inner life, to be able to reveal oneself in symbols which make clear and do not betray. This is the miracle and the gift of the spoken word. It is with the word that one becomes human and thus makes possible the circles of relationships which make fast one's sense of self. It is the word that gives one the power to hurt where no panacea can touch, to harness the wild horses of the mind and make them the burden bearers of the heart, to give wings to unearthed values until they lose themselves on far horizons. It is a word that can create or destroy, splinter or make whole, redeem or damn. It is a small wonder that humans tend to worship the sound of their own voice and give to it an authority greater than anything that remains when all words have been said. If they can put together the words of conveyance, then they think that communication has fulfilled itself. Silence is not trusted. It is subversive. It must be hidden. Fear of silence is the offering which we place upon the altar of words. This is in part due to the richness of the experience of speech, and we do not wish to let it escape from us, lest we transcend once again into the vast empty region where there are no words, where there is no speech. It is important to remember that it is out of this silence that all sounds come. It is in the stillness that the word is fashioned for the meaning it conveys. Here, the sound without sounds can be most clearly heard, and meanings out of which all values come can be plumbed. Thus, Maya Torlik writes, "If it be indeed your desire to give yourself over to another, be silent. Some there or that have no silence, and that kill the silence around them. And these are the only creatures that pass through life unperceived. To let them in is not given to cross the zone of revelation, the great zone of firm and faithful light. We cannot conceive what sort of person is one who has never been silent. It is to us as though their soul were featureless. We do not know each other yet. We have not yet dared to be silent together. And in the Sermon by the Sea, Ernest Holmes said, "Find 1,000 people who know that and use it, and the world will no longer be famished." How important is it that each one of us, in our own simple way, shall live from God to God, with God, in God, and to each other? That is why we are here, and we are taking back with us, I trust, a vision and an inspiration, something beyond a hope and a longing, that the living Spirit shall, through us, walk anew into its own creation, and a new glory come with a new dawn. The edge of the the edge of the known is the threshold between what we understand and what remains mystery. It is in that space that transformation begins. Howard Thurman reminds us that we often hide in words, filling the air to avoid the stillness that might reveal something deeper. Yet Science of Mind teaches that spirit is always speaking, and often spirit's closest voice comes in silence. Holmes's vision of 1,000 awakened people changing the world begins not just with action, but with listening. Listening for the sound without sound. That calls us back to the source. This week, let's explore the collective edge of our knowing, to step into the shared silence where something larger can emerge. When we dare to be silent together, we move past the noise of old stories and touch the greater wholeness of the one mind. This is another quote from The Science of Mind. We are on the path of experience, just walking into the real fact of our true being. As we awake, we find we are surrounded by many false conditions, but there is something within which remembers the real state. So as a culture, we often rush to fill that space with words, noise, opinions, because silence feels vulnerable. But Thurman invites us to consider what might happen if we trusted silence. Could we begin to hear each other and spirit in a new way? I remember the first time I met my boyfriend in person, just over 5 years ago. We first communicated through WhatsApp. After a few weeks of daily chats, we decided to meet at a restaurant downtown. And due to unforeseen traffic, it took me 2 hours to arrive, yet he waited. I frequently updated him on the pending arrival of my Uber, so he knew I wasn't standing him up. And when I finally arrived, he greeted me with a hug. But it wasn't until we spoke that it was clear that I didn't speak Spanish and he didn't speak English. Yet there was plenty of silence, and yet the soft gaze and warm smiles spoke loudly. We used Google Translate to communicate at first and shared a few laughs in a seemingly silent conversation. And during summer storms, when the power will often go out for long periods, we would talk about life and laugh about our similar childhood memories. And sometimes we just share the silence. The Science of Mind says this: the silence is our communion with spirit, our awareness of our unity with good. So Ernest Holmes' dream of 1,000 people who would live from God to God begins with inner listening. The edge of the known is not just an individual frontier, it's a collective one. When we step into shared silence, we create a field where divine ideas can surface. One of our practices is visioning. A question is asked, and we sit in the silence, waiting for divine ideas. Silent meditation is another tool used to sit in the silence and listen to our own breath and heartbeat, listening to the divine. Holmes wrote this: in order to come into the consciousness of our own divinity, we lay aside every fear or doubt or worry, and we enter into the silent, peaceful contemplation that the Spirit of the living God is within us all. The power there is. All the power there is, pardon me, all the presence there is, and all the life there is right here. So here's a little story for today. Once a farmer lost his precious watch while working in his barn. After searching high and low among the hay for a long time, the farmer got exhausted. However, he did not want to give up the search for his watch and asked a group of children playing outside the barn to help. He promised a reward for the person who could find his beloved watch. The children hurried inside the barn and searched the entire stack of hay to find the watch. After a long time of looking, the children got tired and gave up. The farmer gave up hope of finding his watch and called off the search. But one little girl asked the farmer to give her one more chance. The farmer didn't want to miss any chance of finding the watch, so he let the girl in the barn. After a short while, she came out with the watch in hand. The farmer was happily surprised and asked the girl how she found the watch successfully when everyone else failed. The girl replied, I sat quietly, listening for the ticking of the watch. In silence, I was led to the sound. So silence is not the absence of communication. It's the birthplace of it. At the edge of the known, words fall away, and we find a shared ground of being. What would it mean for us as a community to dare to be silent together, to let meaning arise from that deeper well? Silence becomes the field in which everyone belongs. We listen beneath the surface to intuition, to collective wisdom, to what wants to emerge rather than what we want to assert. As a community, daring to sit in silence together builds spiritual maturity. It says, we trust that something greater than our individual voices can move through us. Words become more intentional. Words carry more weight, not because they are loud, but because they rise from depth. You may find that silence doesn't empty a room, it fills it. This is a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. In silence, we must wrap much of our life because it is too fine for speech. And so standing on the edge of the known invites us to loosen our grip on certainty and step into mystery together. Howard Thurman's words remind us that silence is not empty. It is where all true words are born. Ernest Holmes urges us to live so fully in and from spirit that new glory dawns through us. So this week, we remember that the collective edge is not a boundary, but a shared doorway, an invitation to listen, to trust, and to discover together what spirit is whispering into being. So this week, practice listening for the unknown. Reflect on moments where silence taught you something words could not. Spend a few minutes each day in shared silence with someone you trust or even with nature itself, and ask yourself, what wisdom awaits for me beyond the edges of what I already know? And I'll leave you with this final quote. Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known. And that brings us to our affirmation for the week. I trust the mystery beyond what I can explain. And now for news and updates at our center. We are meeting in the new location of the Living Room Bookstore and Cafe in Cinco de Diciembre, and the location is updated on our website. If you are interested in learning more about the science of mind, we do offer classes both via Zoom as well as in person. So connect with me or check our website to find out more details about that. And there's also a survey where you can input your suggestions for upcoming courses. So please feel free to fill it out, and then we can make arrangements for those as well. If you would like to have a one-on-one connection for a spiritual wine treatment, please contact me so we can arrange a time for this. And if you would like to commit to being a member of the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta for this current year, as membership is renewed annually, or if you would like to be on our board of trustees, please contact me and I'll send you the application forms. I'd also like to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook page. And let me know if you would like to receive our weekly post on Substack. And more details on our upcoming annual general meeting will be announced shortly. I believe it's coming up in April. And so now is our time for mindful giving and financial support of our spiritual home. We rely on your support to continue our center here in Puerto Vallarta so that we can continue offering this powerful teaching of the science of mind. We bless the financial gifts that you give today. Every donation is greatly appreciated, no matter the amount. And donations can be made using either PayPal or Tithely through our website, www.cslpv.org. And you'll find the donate buttons on both the landing page as well as on the page where you find the weekly talks. Alternatively, you can still pay in cash in person or by check by mailing it to CSLPV number 403, 2125 Birch Road, Kelowna, BC, V1Y 8N1. And now, please join me in our offertory affirmation. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I do give eternal thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. So thank you for coming and sharing this time together. And let's continue practicing peace. We can each be a force for peace and nonviolence. Excuse me. Pardon me. Our words and our actions can create ripples of peace all around us and beyond us. Peaceful living includes acting with compassion, kindness, and consideration. And it includes standing up for justice and standing against injustice. Today, more than ever, we need to stand for peace. Hug your friends, your neighbors, your loved ones. May peace and love be with you. Blessings to all. Namaste.